And she's got that kind of talent that has the resilience for these fans to stay with her. Just is what it is. Is what it is.
I hope she explodes out of the gate in the fourth quarter with maybe new music, maybe some sort of retrospective collection, but just something that reminds the world that this is someone who absolutely took over planet Earth 25 years ago and can probably do the same thing again if she sets her mind to it.
Now, your primetime local news leader. Fox 22 News at 10.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Peter Dubois.
And I'm Beth Jones. First tonight, police are investigating a fatal crash in Newburgh.
According to the Penobscot County Sheriff's Office, around 5:30 tonight, multiple agencies responded to a crash in the area of 2886 Western Avenue in Newburgh. The Sheriff's Office confirmed a 2022 Mitsubishi was traveling southbound before it left the roadway, striking several trees and then rolling over. Deputies and investigators were assisted by an Old Town Police reconstruction officer and the Newburgh Fire Department. An early investigation indicates speed was one of the contributing factors. No names or further details are being released at this time.
In other news tonight, a burst of violent crime in Waterville has left law enforcement looking for leads. Our Devin Dagnall has that story.
Shortly before midnight on the evening of May 12th, Waterville police officers patrolling the concourse heard gunshots coming from the area of Silver Street. Responding officers found a 21-year-old man who had been shot in the leg, but refused to speak with police.
He was treated and released for non-life-threatening injuries, and he was not cooperative with the investigation. He didn't want to have anything to do with the police, really, and so that makes, obviously, the investigation more difficult. But even though he did not wish to be a victim, we still have somebody that acted in a reckless manner in our community, and that requires investigation.
Witnesses told police a black man fled the scene towards Water Street, but no further description is available at this time. During their initial investigation, officials say a riot broke out in front of the Cancun Mexican restaurant.
That resulted in us having to call for multiple agencies to assist us, to include Oakland, Winslow, Fairfield, State Police, and the Kennebec County Sheriff's Office.
Officers were able to restore order and only one man was arrested.
There was one subject arrested for failure to disperse, which is simply when you have a riot situation. If people refuse to leave, that's the elements of failure to disperse.
Investigations are still active for both the shooting and the riot. At this time, officials have not determined whether the two events are connected.
If anybody has any information, they could contact Officer Riley Dow here at the Waterville Police Department.
In Waterville, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A Portland man will spend decades in prison after being sentenced for sexual exploitation of a minor. According to court documents, 34-year-old Benjamin Conroy was employed as a special education technician by the Portland School District at the time of the crime. In the fall of 2021, Conroy sexually exploited a young student at a Portland Elementary School, and then sent explicit images of the abuse to a third party using a dating application. The concerned recipient notified the Portland Police Department. During the investigation, law enforcement also discovered video of the sexual exploitation on Conroy's phone. He was sentenced today in a U.S. District Court in Portland, and he will serve 22 years in prison, followed by 15 years of supervised release. He pleaded guilty in late August of last year.
An update now to a story we brought you a couple of weeks ago. The body of 62-year-old Lowell Wheaton from Old Town was found this morning by a camp owner on Pecumcus Lake. Wheaton had been missing since April 27th when he traveled to his camp. His canoe with an attached outboard motor was found drifting on the lake on April 28th, which then triggered a large-scale search. The Maine Warden Service, with assistance from other agencies, searched both in the lake and on area roads around Pecumcus Lake with no luck. Wheaton's body was spotted at around 10 a.m. This morning. The camp owner called 911 and his body was later recovered by the Warden Service.
And an update now on that truck explosion last week outside the Blaine House in Augusta. The fire marshal's office says the explosion was caused by a lithium-ion battery failure. The battery was attached to a cordless drill in the back of the pickup that was parked on Chamberlain Street. Fire officials say while these fires and explosions are infrequent, spontaneous combustion of lithium-ion batteries does occur.
The battery's got an odor to it. If it's changing color, if it's changing size, if it's making weird noises when it's charging, those are certainly warning signs that you should discontinue the charging.
And a fire badly damaged a two-story apartment building in Newport, displacing 2 families. Our Grace Blanchard has the story.
A fire in Newport started around 11 a.m. at an apartment building on the corner of Wentworth Ave.
We were dispatched to a 2.5-story wood frame multifamily dwelling with fire showing from the first floor throughout.
Corinna Fire Department was first on the scene. Newport Deputy Fire Chief Jared LaBarnes says they were lucky to have help from multiple departments.
For it being a daytime response, we got good resources out of mutual aid.
It took nearly 3 hours for crews to isolate the fire. The building was home to 2 families, and although no occupants of the apartment building were injured, a neighbor and friend of the family said 2 dogs were lost to the fire.
They all got out safe, thankfully, but they did lose their dogs. 1 dog made it out, but upstairs lost 1, downstairs lost 1. It's tough. Everybody else is okay, though, and that's really what matters.
The Red Cross has been alerted, and according to Graves, they are already initiating plans to support those displaced.
There's going to be help for this family. There's no 2 ways about it. This is a good community, and we treat one another the way that we want to be treated. And that's what makes this community work.
The cause of the fire is currently under investigation. In Newport, Grace Blanchard, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Meanwhile, the city of Waterville is raising funds after one of its fire captains suffered a serious medical event. In the late morning of Wednesday, May 10th, Waterville Fire Captain Michael Folsom suffered cardiac arrest after leaving the department. Around 11:40 a.m., Waterville Fire and Police responded to a single vehicle accident on Silver Street. Folsom was found unresponsive and immediately received on-scene life support. He was airlifted to Maine Medical Center in Portland, where he remains in critical condition. A number of people have already reached out asking how to support Folsom and his family. Members of the public who would like to donate are being asked to report to the Waterville Finance Office during regular business hours. All funds collected will be given directly to Folsom's family.
Well, May is National Motorcycle Safety Awareness Month, and today Governor Mills invited bikers from across the state to the Blaine House for their annual tea to promote motorcycle safety. Our AJ Douglas was there as the bikers rolled in.
Whether we drive a car or a truck, ride on a motorcycle or a bicycle or an e-bike, whether we walk on the sidewalk or across the street, we know we have to look out for others.
Monday, bikers rode up to the Blaine House, not just for tea and cookies, but to spread awareness about the importance of biker safety. State leaders note that the Bureau of Highway Safety has reported over 24 motorcycle fatalities in 2022. One Army vet explained that a sense of community is needed to keep riders safe.
It's imperative that we get the message out to motorists and other bikers on safety and education.
The governor emphasized the importance of sharing the road in hopes of saving a life.
Assume that a motorcycle is closer to your vehicle than it might look. Leave extra room for that motorcyclist to maneuver. You don't know if they need to make a change based on the road's conditions.
Leaders from the group that organized the event, United Bikers of Maine, are calling on motorcycle drivers to take a second look while on the roads as well.
We need to be cognitive of what's going on around us. And, what is that? Is that car getting ready to pull out? Is it not seeing us?
Visit ubm-usa.org to gain access to motorcycle safety resources and view calendar events. In Augusta, AJ Douglas for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
One state lawmaker has introduced legislation that would give a boost to the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, or SNAP. The Health and Human Services Committee voted last week to advance LD 1584, sponsored by Representative Holly Stover. The bill would help make up for a boost in benefits that Mainers got during COVID that has since been stopped. Stover says the program just isn't doing enough and thinks it's time for the state to help SNAP benefactors in need.
recognizing that food insecurity in the state of Maine is in a crisis point, and that despite having wonderful food pantries and Good Shepherd Food Bank and other allies in this food insecurity work, we still have people in Maine every day that do not have enough to eat.
Part of the proposal would raise SNAP benefits from $27 a month to $95 a month. The temporary benefits ended on March 1st of this year. While the federal public health emergency has come to a close, some say the long-lasting impacts of the pandemic still remain.
Lawmakers and environmentalists discussed a bill at the State House in Augusta today that aims to prevent plastic pollution here in Maine. LD 1645, an act to reduce plastic packaging waste, is inspired by the U.S. Plastics Pact, which is a coalition of businesses, organizations, and research institutions committed to eliminating unnecessary plastics. The bill was discussed further by the Environment and Natural Resources Committee today. Representative Lori Gramlich says more than 850 Maine businesses have agreed it's time to move away from plastics that have been deemed dangerous.
We, all together, collectively, we have an opportunity to work on environmental justice issues and to assure that we are doing everything we can for our future generations, because they're right here.
Take a small step forward by phasing out 2 very problematic plastics, PVC, also known as vinyl, and polystyrene in packaging.
Lawmakers say Maine has been a leader on issues related to harmful plastic packaging by enacting bans on plastic bags, balloons, and certain food containers.
All right, and taking a turn outdoors today, it was a little bit cooler, but still a very nice day overall.
Yeah, I just need sunshine. You know, the cool temperatures, you know, they can stay all year round as far as I'm concerned. Maybe not like, you know, the negative 20s, but, you know, the nice balmy 40s, 50s, and 60s.
Yeah.
I'm good with that all year round. But the sunshine I need.
We've seen a lot of all of that this year, too.
Yeah.
So I think a very good spring so far.
Yeah, I've been fairly spoiled, speaking for myself anyway. All right, let's go ahead and get a first check of our forecast.
Thank you so much, Beth. Happy Monday to you. Our first weather today is brought to you by Kings Mountain RC. Check out our new location on South Main Street in a Brewer. Another good-looking day out there today. Of course, it's spring, summer, knocking on the door right around the corner. It was pretty windy out there, though. Now it's starting to calm down. We still have some windy conditions by the coast of Bar Harbor into Machias, especially. Here in town, though, into Rockland, Waterville, we're looking at winds starting to slowly die down now at a 10-mile-an-hour breeze. Earlier today, closer to 20. Temperatures, though, we'll take that any day. 71 degrees the coast, a little bit cooler, but still some mid to upper 60s. Even up by Millinocket, temperatures at 71 degrees. Mostly cloudy skies for the most part today. This is Virgo precipitation, not quite reaching the ground just yet, but tonight, things will start to get more and more moist. By tomorrow, more chances of rain, but overnight, we will see temperatures cooling back off into those lower 50s. Beth?
Alrighty, Conrad, thanks so much.
And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, our Jody Hersey takes us to meet a Waterville artist who creates nature-inspired masks.
We'll have that story and much more as Fox 22 News at 10 continues.
Say goodbye to lag times and death spirals with our crazy fast fiber internet. At GoNet Speed, we've dropped our prices on fiber. That means hello to fast fiber internet starting at just $49.95 per month. Or go up to 1 gig, that's 1,000 megabits per second, for only $69.95 a month. The lowest prices we've ever offered. No contract, no hidden fees, no joke. Visit GoNetspeed.com to check availability in your area.
Wherever you are, whether you're ready or not, it's coming. With a purpose, with persistence, with the power to change the way you live. So you don't have to change the way you live. Generac automatic standby generators. Control your power, control your life. Visit Generac.com.
Fear, pain, and anxiety are all feelings associated with dental treatments, but it doesn't have to be that way. Dental lasers offer a way to remove tooth decay without using the dental drill. In fact, we do most dental fillings here at Twin City Dental without numbing, so no needle. And for treatments like root canals or having many teeth extracted, we also provide IV sedation. So call Twin City Dental for your next dentist appointment.
At Hashi's Auto Enhancing, our focus is on the appearance, longevity, and value of your vehicle. Does your undercarriage look like this? You can go from this to this. And if you have a new vehicle, you can avoid this. Our annual undercoating service will add years of life to your vehicle. At Hashi's, we also do rhino linings. We can rhino rocker panels, bumpers, trailers, side-by-sides, and more. We take pride in making your ride shine inside and out. Book one of our detailing packages.
Bring your ride to us to protect your investment.
You're the dream I would not allow myself to have. It's like a perfect moment.
911 Lone Star season finale, Tuesday at 8/7 Central on Fox.
Hi, I'm Emma Smith, and coming up on Good Morning Maine, we'll hear what political organizers are doing to address and combat plastic pollutants in Maine. Plus, the latest out of Augusta on SNAP benefits legislation. And we'll have our friends from Coal Land Transportation Museum on to discuss their initiative in finding more veterans. This and more coming up on Good Morning Maine.
A proposed bill would require a parent's permission for a student to go by another name or pronoun in school. Mal Meyer has more on what advocates are saying on both sides of the issue.
Coming out to someone is a very personal experience.
Lane is a transgender student in southern Maine. She told her family first, then her classmates in a video.
As soon as the video ended, there was like this massive round of applause. And at the end of the day, all my classmates wrote these little heart-shaped messages of support for me.
She knows not everyone gets that kind of response. It's one of the reasons why some people are against a Maine bill that would require parents' permission for a student to use a different name or pronouns in school.
If they're forcibly outed to their parents, that just causes like a really unsafe environment for them, because then they have to go home, they have to like converse with their parents about that.
I hear them on that. I think that they're living in a bubble if they believe that a kid changes their name at school and the parent doesn't find out.
Representative Katrina Smith is the bill's lead sponsor. For her, this is about parents' rights.
I feel like parents don't feel like they're being heard, that their wishes are being honored.
She argues this would be a better way for families to have the discussion.
And I feel like we have to face it head on.
I think there's a way through this where we're not pushing parents aside, but we're finding ways to invite and involve parents in the process.
While advocating in opposition to the bill, Gia Drew with Equality Maine says this is something to consider.
Because we do know the success of a young person, whether they're LGBTQ or not, does revolve dramatically around how involved a parent is in that process.
And that was Mal Meyer reporting. A Waterville artist is turning heads. Alexis Burbank makes leather face masks, inspired by nature. Intricate, detailed artwork of lynx, birds, and other creatures that customers can wear to costume parties, Halloween events, or other occasions. Our Jody Hersey stopped by her studio to see her extraordinary work.
Alexis Burbank is always tapping into her creativity at her home art studio in Waterville. Burbank began making these leather masks with lifelike features after she graduated from the University of Maine in Machias in 2014.
My busiest season is Halloween. People do love to use them for costumes, but I've also had them commissioned for special occasions like weddings, gifts, different ritual purposes, People use them for all kinds of things, I guess.
Demand for her products increased during the pandemic.
Slowly it grew, and now I ship them all over the world. I just sent one off to Belgium. I've had some from the Middle East, quite a few from Europe, France, England.
Burbank starts each mask with a template that she sketches on paper. Then she wets the leather, traces her sketch onto that leather piece before cutting it and carving it.
So I use vegetable tanned leather. Of course, I have all kinds of leather crafting tools to help me tool that piece of leather. And then I paint it with acrylics and seal it with a good varnish.
She estimates each one takes between 8 to 12 hours to make, and they can all be found online at faylander.com. However, Burbank's mask-making abilities are not her only talent.
I do illustrations, paintings, all kinds of things just to keep my mind busy.
And her creativity alive with each and every gift that she hand makes. In Waterville, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Beautiful.
The detail in each of those masks is really incredible, and it's awesome to just see that process from start to finish.
Yeah.
How she gets an idea, gets it on paper.
The use of the tools and how all of,
It almost reminds me of kind of like how a tattoo artist works, and they start on paper and then they bring it to real life.
Similar level of detail, for sure.
Yeah, it's
Alrighty.
awesome. Well, still to come on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, John Durham released his long-awaited report on the FBI investigation into the Trump-Russia allegations.
And we'll keep you up to date on what progress or lack thereof there's been in Washington over raising the debt ceiling. Those stories and more as the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 continues.
People always ask me, what's the best mattress? Well, the best mattress for me isn't necessarily the best mattress for you. Bridget and our Sleep Techs will fit you to the perfect mattress. So if you're going to spend a third of your life sleeping on it, shouldn't it be the one for you?
The lives we lead, the journey that defines us, the dedication, passion, and teamwork in everything we do, driven by the things we love. From the visions that lead us, the feelings that inspire us, to the roads that bring us together, Coastal Auto Parts, 29 locations in Maine, will get you to the moments that matter most. Get what you need to keep you firing on all cylinders when you sign up for Napa Rewards. Coastal Auto Parts is owned and operated by a Maine family that cares.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
Now is the time to consider taking care of your driveway or parking lot. With more than 25 years experience, Harvey Paving and Seal Coating specializes in asphalt maintenance. A fantastic way to extend the life of your asphalt is by taking care of it, and we will fill in all the cracks and seal coat afterwards. This leaves your driveway with a beautiful finish looking like new. Why not increase the curb appeal of your residential or commercial space? Give us a call today at Harvey Paving and Seal Coating for a free quote, 262-0154.
You are a gift from heaven.
A lot of feels tonight.
Woo! The winner is Thank God for You, and I Love You.
The Masked Singer season finale, Wednesday on Fox.
You know, at Jordan's, we have over 90 different mattresses you can try. That's where Bridget and our Sleep Techs come in. With a short analysis of you, your sleeping habits, all you have to do is choose the one that's right for you and your budget. Come into Jordan's and meet Bridget.
There's one number you need to know. It's called Joe.
After being appointed in 2019 to re-examine how the FBI's Trump-Russia probe first started, Special Counsel John Durham issued his long-awaited report. Fox's Mike Emanuel has more from Capitol Hill on what that report concluded.
In a 300-plus page report, more than 4 years in the making, Special Counsel John Durham offered his conclusions into the origins of the FBI's Trump-Russia probe, saying the Bureau, quote, failed to uphold its mission of strict fidelity to the law and used raw, unanalyzed, and uncorroborated intelligence when it launched its investigation during the 2016 election.
They basically took information that was politically motivated from obviously politically motivated sources.
Durham's report contradicts a previous probe by the Justice Department's Inspector General that found in December 2019 there was sufficient justification for the FBI to open its investigation, a conclusion Durham publicly disagreed with at the time.
It doesn't mean Durham's findings are valid or invalid, but there's absolutely no surprise that he's come out where he has.
On Twitter, House Judiciary Committee Chair Jim Jordan, reacting to the report, announced, quote, we've reached out to the Justice Department to have Special Counsel John Durham testify next week.
You can't interfere in a presidential election without consequences. At least you used to not be able to in America. And that's what happened here.
Former President Trump telling Fox, quote, there must be a heavy price to pay for putting our country through this. The Durham report did not offer any recommendations, but said it's intended to assist the Attorney General in helping the DOJ and FBI do a, quote, better, more credible job. In Washington, Mike Emanuel, Fox News.
President Biden says he's optimistic about reaching a deal to raise the debt ceiling, but House Speaker Kevin McCarthy says he thinks both sides are still far apart. Fox's Madeline Rivera reports.
Despite reported progress last week in the conversations over the debt limit, neither President Biden nor House Speaker Kevin McCarthy have signaled any headway.
Hey, President Biden, any update on the budget negotiations?
I appreciate the president finally willing to talk after 97 days, but there is no movement.
President Biden and top congressional lawmakers are set to meet again on Tuesday, with about 2 weeks left to avoid a disastrous debt default. While President Biden has indicated he's open to clawing back unspent COVID-19 funds, Republicans are pushing for more cuts.
One of the things that I would have hoped to see on the table would be the unspent and unallocated debt relief funds, if you will, the student loan debt relief that Biden has provided that I think is unconstitutional, that most Americans think is totally inappropriate.
The negotiations are unfolding as President Biden prepares to leave for Japan for the G7 summit on Wednesday. As of now, the White House says the president is still sticking to schedule, regardless of the status of the talks.
We'll get an opportunity to showcase the unity of the G7 on some major issues facing the entire world.
But the pressure is building, with one political expert warning the country is the closest it's ever been to defaulting on its debt for the first time.
I think it's such a grave situation because the factors that would lead to an agreement are so high. The obstacles are so great.
There are still a few areas where compromise can be made to ultimately reach an agreement, preventing default on the nation's $31.4 trillion debt. In Washington, Madeline Rivera, Fox News.
Well, it's only been a matter of days since the end of Title 42 when the Biden administration shifted to a new migrant asylum policy. But instead of seeing an even higher surge in migrants along the border as reported ahead of the transition, today officials from the Department of Homeland Security announced a decline, with the U.S. averaging below 5,000 daily encounters over the past 3 days. Fox's Bill Malugin is in Brownsville, Texas, with more.
After hours waiting on the U.S. side of the border, hoping the Texas National Guard would let them seek asylum, this group of migrants was told to return to Mexico. Texas troops instead referring them to a government app to schedule an appointment, a message continually repeated the past several days since last week's expiration of Title 42.
We are processing people safely, orderly, and humanely, and quickly delivering consequences to those that do not establish a legal basis to remain in the United States, to include removal from the United States.
In the run-up to last week's end of the pandemic-era restriction, migrant numbers skyrocketed. Crossings from Mexico into the U.S. topping more than 10,000 a day. But over the weekend, Secretary of Homeland Security Alejandro Mayorkas said the Border Patrol has seen a 50% drop in encounters. President Biden expressed optimism about the decline when asked about the situation during his Sunday bike ride.
Okay. How do you think things are going at the border, sir?
Much better than you all expected.
Meantime, House Republicans want to restart construction of the southern border wall.
Let's finish building the wall and doing all the other mechanisms that are crucial for our country's security. And when we have that done, then we can talk about all the immigration policies.
And while the U.S. government has already sent troops down here to our southern border, DHS said today that now Mexico and Guatemala are doing the same at their borders. Reporting in Brownsville, Texas, Bill Malugin, Fox News.
And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, we'll have the latest developments coming out of the Russian invasion of Ukraine.
And in sports, Husson baseball and softball learned their matchups for the first round of the NCAA tournament today. We'll have that story coming up.
Could you sing in the blanks for $1 million prize?
Two things everybody loves, music and money.
Don't forget the lyrics premieres Tuesday, May 23rd on Fox.
Electrify Maine is Maine's #1 electrical contractor, providing outstanding electrical services to businesses, industries, and homes throughout the state. Electrify Maine also sells and installs heat pumps and is a licensed Generac dealer. Call us today for a free estimate.
2024 Chevy Silverado HD with Duramax diesel.
and the Chevy Silverado with powerful TurboMax engine. No matter what route you take, there's a Chevy truck to get you there. Find new roads. Get 1.9% financing on all 2023 Silverado 1500 LT TurboMax pickups, or current Chevy owners get a $6,750 total value when you trade in an eligible vehicle. Visit your main Chevy dealer.
Our phones keep us constantly connected.
Please switch to airplane mode.
But what if they had a mode to help us actually connect? Introducing Us Mode, a mode that makes our phones less distracting, so we can focus on quality time. So the notifications we get are the ones that matter. So we're never distracted from what's most important. Visit US Cellular in-store or online to set up Us Mode for free, even if you're not a customer. US Cellular, built for us.
It wasn't just a little bit of soot on an old family photo. It wasn't just a couple of books soaked in water. And when you called Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration, you were not just another customer. That family photo hangs high yet again, and those irreplaceable first editions stay cemented in history. You keep the memories, we'll handle the rest. Statewide commercial and residential services. Bouchard Cleaning and Restoration.
It's mayhem at Hamlin's Marine. Join us Thursday, May 18th through Saturday, May 20th for a 3-location open house and boat sale in Waterville, Belfast, and Hamden. Hamlin's Marine is New England's largest Yamaha outboard dealer. Get the best pricing and service on Godfrey and Bennington pontoons, Weldcraft, Alumacraft, and G3 fishing boats. Surf and ski with Mastercraft Stingray and Hurricane. Cruise with Jeanneau, Scout, Carolina Skiff, and Sea Chaser. All powered by the reliability of Yamaha. Don't miss the mayhem at Hamlin's Marine, Waterville, Belfast, and Hamden. Electrify Maine is Maine's #1 electrical contractor, providing outstanding electrical services to businesses, industries, and homes throughout the state. Electrify Maine also sells and installs heat pumps and is a licensed Generac dealer. Call us today for a free estimate.
Welcome back. Turkey's presidential election is headed to a runoff. Incumbent Recep Tayyip Erdogan finished ahead of his chief rival but did not get enough votes for an outright victory. Fox's senior affairs foreign correspondent Greg Palcott has the details.
A crucial election in a super strategic country. Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan coming up with more votes than his close behind challenger Kemal Kılıçdaroğlu. But neither made 50% from a big turnout which forces a runoff election in 2 weeks. Erdogan, 20 years leading Turkey, sounded confident.
We do not doubt that the choice of our nation will be in favor of trust and stability in the presidential elections.
His opponent, with 6 different parties behind him, appeared defiant.
Despite all his smear campaigns and insults, Erdogan did not get the result he expected.
Still, the challenger was expected to do better. Erdogan's economic policies have led to low growth and high inflation. His rule increasingly harsh and autocratic. His handling of recent earthquakes criticized.
Erdogan marches to his own drumbeat, and that has been the problem that we've had for some time.
Erdogan has become a problem for the U.S. Turkey is a sometimes troublesome NATO member. Erdogan has cozied up to Russian President Vladimir Putin, moved closer to Chinese President Xi Jinping, and has made trouble with U.S. allies in the European Union. Noting a past critical Biden line, Erdogan even said a vote for him is a vote against the U.S. president.
I just hope it goes, whoever wins, wins.
Also in Erdogan's favor, a parliament vote that leaned towards his party, and a third candidate who could throw his support the president's way.
I wish for the best outcome possible.
One more advantage for Erdogan, incumbency. He's recently raised civil servant salaries. That's followed a hike in the minimum wage. Maybe why, despite widespread discontent, the Turkish people, the international community, could be looking at 5 more years of President Erdogan. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
Meanwhile, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky continued his European tour on Monday. He's visited multiple countries asking for more aid ahead of a counteroffensive against Russian troops. Fox's Alex Hogan has more.
Russian troops ramping up their strikes on civilian infrastructure, hitting this educational center in Ukraine's Kherson region on Monday. The attack comes as President Volodymyr Zelensky traveled to the UK to request additional military aid. Britain's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak promised to provide troops with hundreds more missiles and attack drones to help Ukraine's military prepare for its upcoming counteroffensive.
There are no secrets from our friends, but there are some secrets from our neighbors. That's why we have to prepare.
The Kremlin condemned London's latest pledge and insists the additional aid will not change the course of the war.
But it definitely leads to further destruction, further action. It makes the whole story for Ukraine much more complicated.
Zelensky's visit to the UK marks the 5th European country he has traveled to in recent days. Over the weekend, he visited Germany and France, where he received pledges for more ammunition, tanks, and military training. Britain's Prime Minister says the G7 will discuss delivering more supplies to Ukraine at a meeting in Japan later this week.
We remain steadfast in wanting to defend Ukraine, not just now to reclaim its rightful territory, but also to ensure that Ukraine has the means to defend itself into the future.
China this week will send a representative to Europe to discuss what Beijing calls a political settlement to this war. In London, Alex Hogan, Fox News.
The central U.S. is recovering from a weekend of heavy downpours that flooded roads across the region. On the West Coast, folks could see a big heat wave this week. Fox's Tonya J. Powers has more.
Relentless rain pummeling the central U.S. over the weekend. In Missouri and Illinois, up to half a foot of rain fell in a short period of time on Sunday, putting thousands of people under flash flood warnings. The water quickly inundated roads in St. Louis, stranding vehicles and trapping drivers in floodwaters. The city's fire department says it responded to more than a dozen rescue calls.
Came home to the apartment, realized that I couldn't get in. So this water had to have been probably 8 or 9 feet high. All the cars over here were underwater, and this is probably the worst it's been since I've been here.
Further south, heavy rain and thunderstorms prompted the National Weather Service to issue flood watches in the Houston area. Months of heavy downpours have strained some drainage systems, making some communities more vulnerable to flooding.
I was really scared to take my daughter to school or, if I was going to be able to pick her up. So it's just like the sitting water, and it just accumulates.
Meanwhile, the West Coast is bracing for a major heat wave this week. The National Weather Service says temperatures in some locations could reach 10 to 20 degrees above average. After a brutal winter, snow melt is threatening to push some waterways in the region over the edge.
As the lake's gone up, and it's gone up fairly drastically in the last month or so, a lot of debris.
Yosemite National Park announced the temporary closure of several campgrounds on Monday due to possible flooding. In New York, Tonya J. Powers, Fox News.
I actually stayed in a campground fairly close to the Cathedral Rocks and Half Dome, which we just saw. Probably that campground, one of those under closure at this point.
Yeah, you would imagine, but an incredible experience to be out there, and certainly a lot of active weather across the country too right now, and
stuff they're not used to seeing, at least not to that level. So a little concerning.
Yeah, absolutely.
Alrighty, well, back here at home, our full 5-day is coming up. Stay with us.
And another nice looking day out there today. Temperatures in the 70s. We had mostly cloudy skies, but more chances of rain. We'll be back in the forecast. Bring out those umbrellas, but when? Got the answers coming up.
We open books. We open minds. We open up possibilities when we invest in their higher education. Invest in your child's bright future by opening a NextGen 529 account today. To learn more about NextGen 529, investment objectives, risks, and costs, read the program description available at nextgenforme.com. Check with your home state to learn if it offers tax or other benefits for investing in its own 529 plan.
At Hood, our love for New England inspired New England Creamery. We make it with premium Hood milk and cream, then we overload it with the good stuff. Like Green Mountain Mint chip with a rich, fudgy swirl. Maine Sweet Blueberry with real delicious blueberries. And Cape Cod Fudge Shop, packed with fudgy truffles. Hood's New England Creamery. From Hood, for New England. Try all 13 flavors.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can do all your favorite beach activities, like Spikeball, whitewater rafting, shrimp boils, wade fishing, or hanging with the locals. You can say that again.
You could save up to $1,200 with affordable 3.99% financing on an all-wheel drive Camry. And every Camry comes with 2 years, no-cost maintenance and more.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
On the Road, broadcasting the news at 6, live from Belfast, is sponsored by Belfast Hannaford. Visit your local Belfast Hannaford grocery store for grocery, pharmacy, and more. Coastal Auto Parts, your local Napa Auto Parts dealer with 29 locations, owned and operated by a Maine family that cares. University of Maine Early College, tuition-free online courses for high school students. umaine.edu/early college.
I'm looking for a partner that I can invest $250,000 in. I'm looking for my next food star.
Gordon Ramsay's Food Stars, May 24th on Fox.
Happy Monday and welcome back, everyone. Our main weather today is brought to you by Key Appliance, committed to bringing you top name brand appliance at affordable prices. All right, let's take a look at a couple of temperatures the last couple of weeks. We've been blessed by temperatures in the 70s, some 80s outside, a couple of 60s, and then right back into the 70s and 80s. So we've been well above our average for what we should be this time of year. Now our average high temperature is supposed to be around 66 degrees. So we're looking at near average the rest of the week. Besides Wednesday, a little bit cooler air will be rolling on in. Temperatures around 55 degrees. But then we're rebounding back by Thursday, and it's going to look much, much nicer than that. There are some pretty windy conditions out there earlier today. Now, things are starting to die down. Millinocket still has a pocket of some stronger winds, but here in town, though, not too bad. We are finally under 10-mile-an-hour sustained winds, only at 8 right now. Waterville is at 9. The coast, not too bad either. Mostly cloudy skies out there today, and the atmosphere will really continue to get more and more favorable for some rain that will be moving on in by tomorrow. Now it's still a little bit more on the drier end, but definitely by tomorrow things will be changing as this rain continues to move in from Canada. Down south, though, not so much. We're looking at upstate New York into PA, New York. Will not really get in on this rain, maybe a couple of sprinkles, but for us, get ready and get those umbrellas ready for tomorrow, folks. We are looking at some more chances of scattered rain. This isn't going to be the whole day of rain. This is going to be more scattered and more on the lighter end. So we're not looking at a big downpour, any kind of situations like that. We're looking at maybe a quarter of an inch, half an inch of rain in some places, especially in the eastern part of the state. The coast, not bad. We're looking at less than half an inch of rain, maybe even less than a quarter of an inch of rain, especially closer to Bar Harbor and Augusta. Tonight, though, we're looking at temperatures pretty mild out there, around 51 degrees, not quite looking at the stars type of night, but temperatures aren't too bad out there. Mostly cloudy tonight, though, increasing clouds. We will have that west wind gusting close to 20 miles an hour. Tomorrow, though, temperatures around 64, so what we should be this time of year on average. It will be raining, though, more scattered rain, so don't forget those umbrellas, folks. Our extended forecast outlook does show mostly cloudy skies on Wednesday with those cooler temperatures, so I would definitely put on a jacket or sweater, especially overnight. Look at those temperatures around freezing, so hide your plants and get ready. We'll have a little bit of frost, maybe even some freeze in some spots. Thursday, Friday into Saturday, we finally warm back up into the 60s, more close to average temperatures by the weekend. Beth?
All right, but overall temperatures during the day anyway, pretty mild and a fair amount of sunshine.
Yes, especially later on towards the end of the week, things looking really, really nice.
We like it.
Indeed. All right, well, sports is coming up next with Tyler Cruz. Stay with us.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
When the Davises booked their Verbo vacation home, they didn't know about this view. Or the 200-year-old tree in the backyard. Or their neighbors down the hill. But one thing they did know is exactly how much they'd pay. Because Verbo is different. You see the total price up front. Of course, it's good to leave room for some surprises.
exciting new Toyota, you can go out and enjoy all your favorite summer activities. Sorry.
Get affordable 3.99% financing on a four-wheel drive Tacoma.
Your summer starts here.
Toyota, let's go places.
Great things are always cooking at the Ground. New menu, new specials, with an amazing variety of choices for every taste. Good times, great service, and amazing food. Only at your locally owned Ground, Odland Road, Bangor.
Harvey High is now in session. Today's subjects, science.
Name something that can make the earth move.
Heavy rain.
Hold on, it's raining.
Health class.
Something you drop in the toilet and still use it afterward.
Toothbrush.
Nah, I'm not sticking that in my mouth. We're not doing teeth brushing today.
Get schooled with Family Feud.
Weeknights at 7 on Fox 22.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Solving crimes has never tasted so good.
Delicious.
I murdered a donut.
That's a crime scene.
Crime Scene Kitchen returns Monday, June 5th on Fox.
Welcome back in, everyone. Thank you for staying with us. We're going to start with some basketball. For the second straight season, the Boston Celtics and Miami Heat will meet in the Eastern Conference Finals. Game 1 is set for Wednesday night, an 8:30 tip-off from TD Garden. Game 2, same place, same time on Friday night. The Celtics punching their ticket on Sunday after pounding the Sixers in Game 7. They won 112-88, but it really wasn't that close. C's defense held the Sixers to just 10 third-quarter points, and Jason Tatum was unbelievable, pouring in a Game 7 record 51 points to lead the Celtics back. And while they're gearing up for the 8th seed that barely made the playoffs and may be a little banged up, the Celtics know Miami can still bring the heat.
It's going to be highly competitive, and I'm looking forward to it. Right, it's the best time of the year, and we get to play them again. So it's going to be fun. And as a competitor, you just love the opportunity.
We just got to come out with a great fresh mind and execute what's in front of us, and I think that's the key. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be a great challenge.
4 wins away, and they are back in the NBA Finals. Let's head over to Husson now. It was a great week last week for both Husson baseball and softball. Some drama for both, but both walking away with NAC championships. So on Monday, the teams learned their fate. For baseball, they will take on Wheaton College from Massachusetts in Game 1 on Friday. That regional round will be played in New London, Connecticut, where Mitchell College is the host. It's Husson's third year in a row making the NCAA tournament, and last year they won their first tourney game since 2009. So even though it's been a tradition of theirs for the past few seasons, it's still exciting to see that name pop up on the screen every year.
I think it's always exciting to see the name come across. I don't care how many times you do this. It's still special every year that you get to be able to be in this position. And, we're certainly excited, to go to a familiar place, being we've already played at Mitchell this year.
It's awesome. Like we were talking about earlier, we've done it 3 times, but it's just every time you see it pop up, it's exciting. It's an exciting time of year to just be around campus and have all this going on. It's pretty sweet.
Even though this isn't the first time we've done this, it still feels like an amazing experience, and it's very excited to know where we're going and really play against great competition, so it's very exciting.
Now, the Eagles had a very interesting NAC tournament. They entered the losers bracket after falling to Cobleskill on day 2, and then they rattled off 3 straight victories, including 2 in a row over Cobleskill to win the title. And if they want to continue that success in the regional, it's going to take the same recipe.
Some baseball, just doing our thing, continue winning. Hitting the ball. If we play a clean defense, we keep ourselves in games that we should be in, and then, the rest takes care of itself.
Awesome baseball. That's just like Ethan said and Coach said. We just have a style around here where we just play hard and hopefully get the job done.
Over to softball now, the Eagles winning the NAC tournament again. Last week, it was their 5th in a row. So on Monday, they heard their name called as well. They will be sending it down to Massachusetts for a tough matchup against the number 6th ranked team in the country in Tufts University. A few years ago, the Eagles took on Tufts with a chance to advance to a super regional, but they fell 1-0 in the bottom of the 7th inning, and that loss still stings some of the Eagles that were there for it.
It feels good. It's a little nerve-wracking because, we just think about 2021 and how it ended in the bottom of the 7th in a way that we don't ever want it to end. But I think we're ready to go after them and just to show them that, we're different and we're better than we were then.
I think we're just looking to get revenge, from the previous years and come out on top. We were kind of expecting mostly a mass team going in, and I think we're ready to just come and get them.
Now, Husson won the NAC on a walk-off in the championship game from Beulah McCabe. And if you've ever been around Husson softball, they are a pretty unique team. They came into the selection show on Monday decked out in face paint. They've got props in the dugout, all that. And that loose environment plus the talent they have up and down the roster is what's going to help them succeed this weekend.
We know how to have fun, and we know how to be serious at the same time. We can stay loose but stay focused. That's really our motto when we have practice and things like this.
What have these 2 years with Husson softball been like for you with this group of girls?
Nothing but weird, which is fantastic because I can be weird too, but just all fun.
They own a shark costume, and it's one of our props, and I'm usually the one wearing it. So they said I need to put a shark on my face, so I put a shark on my face.
All right, looks like a lot of fun. Let's stay on the diamond here. Over at John Baptist, one senior did something unexpected in his first ever varsity start on the mound. Dylan Sawyer, who pitches and plays infield for the Crusaders, rolled up to the game last Thursday against Herman and was told he was the starting pitcher just before the game started. It was his first varsity start on the bump. Sawyer took the ball and threw a gem, no hitting the Herman Hawks in a 10-0 victory for John Baptist. He says his only thoughts were, don't mess up, and it seems like he succeeded in that goal.
It felt good. I only found out that I was going to start when I got to the field, but I was ready. About the third inning, it started in the back of my mind, but try not to think about it because you'll jinx yourself if you do.
Now, no-hitters don't happen often at all, especially for someone's first ever win and for someone's first ever start. So it's safe to say the events of last Thursday will live forever in Dylan's memory.
I already got the game ball, so I'm going to write on it. First start, first win, first shutout, first no-hitter. And then it's going to be a story that I'm going to be telling my kids for the rest of my life.
All right, big congratulations to him. That is all the time we have for sports. We'll be right back after the break.
Come stop by Triple S Tack Shop, 315 Hamden Road, Carmel, for quality clothing and equestrian gear.
Here at Twin City Tire and Service, you will be working with industry professionals. We have ASE certified master technicians and certified tire and lube technicians. If we need your vehicle for a duration of time, we offer a complimentary shuttle service and can even offer a loaner vehicle. Being a client at Twin City Tire and Service means that we will treat you right. This includes a 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty on mechanical repairs. We also provide you with 1 year of complimentary roadside assistance. Come see us today at Twin City Tire and Service in Brewer.
Upgrade your outdoor living space with TimberTech Decking and Railing by AZEK. The low-maintenance decking with the look of natural wood. TimberTech is everything wood should be. TimberTech railings provide safety while adding a beautiful finish. Your Hammond sales rep will help you with your selections and design planning, and Hammond delivers from 22 locations across Maine and New Hampshire. For the look of real wood that lasts a lifetime, choose TimberTech by AZEK from Hammond Lumber Company, your building project partner.
Summer's here, and with a new Toyota, you can go out and have s'more fun. Whoa. Yeah, that's crispy. Anyone?
Get affordable 3.99% financing on an all-wheel drive Camry. Toyota, let's go places.
This summer,
When the mission is to save humanity, who can you count on the most?
I'm a celebrity on 2 planets now.
Stars on Mars, featuring William Shatner, June 5th on Fox.
The housing market is a constant crisis phase, and in 2022, make sure you are the first to the closing table and get looped and get sold with Next Home Experience today.
This summer, it's the U.S. versus the world.
Unbelievable!
The FIFA Women's World Cup, July on Fox.
Welcome back. We see break-ins happen far too often where items are taken from their rightful owners. However, this break-in in Colorado has a unique perpetrator, a black bear. The video shows the animal casually approaching the parked truck and opening the back door, later proceeding to check inside the back seat of the vehicle. You can see him eyeing the inside there. The bear seemed to want to take the cooler in the back, but that fell to the ground. That didn't stop the animal, though, because the bear ended up using that cooler as a stool to ultimately grab a bag that seemed to have caught his eye. Officials recommend that everyone secures objects like bird feeders or trash bins. There you see him climbing up on the cooler there, but you should secure all those items, any food items, which can obviously attract bears, and they are very, very toolsy. I mean, look at him, and there he has it, taken off.
He got something.
Wow. I mean, I'm impressed.
Savvy.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, that just goes to show how easily they can get into places that you might not think they can.
Well, here, what's interesting too, if we can rewind in my trip to California to the Cathedral Rocks, Capitan, and Half Dome, they're all sort of near each other. I remember I stayed in a place called Curry Village, and right in the lobby, they had videos playing of bears smashing car windows, climbing in and out, taking people's things. And I remember being told, it's not just your food we want in the bear containers. Put your shampoos, your lotions, anything that is fragrant, they want it in these steel bear-proof containers. So they know that those guys don't mess around.
That's some good advice. So you wouldn't necessarily think about the non-food items that smell, and you can tell how motivated they really are.
Alrighty, well, Truergy Family Orchard in Levant is reopening tomorrow, a week later than the company planned due to a recent fire. Truergy has announced on its Facebook page that it will open for the season Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. The Levant business will have donuts and ice cream for sale. Yay. Last Tuesday, the business's season was stalled unexpectedly due to a fire. They say residue in its donut machine ignited and did cause a little damage.
We're very grateful for our fire department, for our quick acting employee, and this could have been a lot worse. Delaying opening a few days is not what anyone wanted, but it's better than what could have been.
Well, Truergy's will also have lots of goats, including some cute new babies for customers to see.
Lots of reasons to get down there. Well, elm trees, of course, are known for reaching great size over their long lives, but even these majestic trees can pose a danger as they grow older. Bangor historian Richard Shaw tells us his Dutch elm on Howard Street is now coming down. The tree is believed to have been planted in the 1930s, a lot of history there. Shaw says it's one of just a few hundred left in the city, but it was at the point where it was just getting dangerous.
Given the fact it's out by the street and everything, it's near a school, I thought it might be nice. I really don't want a surprise in the middle of the night, a tree coming through.
Water Tree Service is taking part of that tree to count the rings and look into more of its history. The elm lived through Dutch elm disease, woodpeckers, and more than a few ice storms, to say the least.
And heavy snowstorms as well. So yeah, that tree definitely had some staying power.
Yeah, saw a lot.
Alrighty, folks, that is going to do it for us. From everybody here at Fox 22, take care and have a great night.
Good night, everyone.
For more local news coverage, switch over to our sister station, ABC7, right now for ABC7 News at 11.
Dirt Road Acres, your #1 trusted dispensary. Dirt Road Acres provides outstanding patient consulting and services to Eastern and Central Maine. Located at the corner of Route 9 and Route 7 in Dixmont. Stop by and see Jen or one of the girls today. Now offering delivery.
Hi, this is Jason.
And this is Jessica from Tossie's Checkout,
a family-owned business located in Glenburn.
Inviting you to come experience that welcoming hometown feeling when you're visiting our neck of the woods.
You can always expect tasty treats,
Pizza.
spirits,
Familiar faces.
and quality gasoline.
With summer approaching and Pushaw Lake nearby,
We look forward to seeing your smiling faces.
Come check us out.
They've got the sharpest pencil in town. Have they just sit around that showroom figuring deals and whittling that old
Idol's biggest moment so far, and you know, the best is yet to come. Join us next time for our grand finale, where